The City Commission meeting on Monday, December 27th, 2021, here in South Dakota. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Here.
Weinreich.
Here.
Bragg.
Here.
Robish.
Present.
Mayor Harrington.
Here. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Changing it up, I'll make it.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It was that pause that threw me.
Yeah, I know it.
Trying to remember what the right response is. Right?
Froze up.
Okay, agenda approval. Consider approval of the agenda. Has anybody got anything you want to add to our agenda tonight? Seeing none, I accept a motion to approve.
Move to approve the agenda.
Commissioner Weinrich moved to approve. Need a second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Robish. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, moving on, public forum. Public comments can be sent to the live meeting broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city's website at www.huronsd.com/citygovernment. In order to use the YouTube chat feature, please create an account with your YouTube and Gmail or use your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Is there anybody on the commission that wants to add something to public forum tonight? Seeing none, we do have our HR director, Nathan Hofer, back with us this week. He's on a computer in the back of the room. If you want to get on YouTube and send in a question for us to respond to, we will do our best we can to do that. Consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion, unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. Tonight's consent agenda is 4.1, minutes of December 20th, 2021 City Commission. 4.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 4.3, special event on sale liquor, alcohol beverage licensed by Top Floor Events for our chamber mixer on January 11th at Dakota Lands Administrative Office, 2297 Kansas Avenue Southeast. 4.4, airport liability insurance renewal with American Trust Insurance. 4.5, raffles. Huron MS Society for multiple dates at the Red Arrow Bar. And 4.6, payment of the bills. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent.
Commissioner Smith moves to approve, and he is second on this item.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Bid quote items. We have our city engineer, Brett Renges, with us tonight. And Brett, will you go through 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3 for us, please?
Thank you, Mayor. 5.1, consider awarding 2022-10Q tilt deck trailer to move skid steer for street department to Premier Equipment. We received quotes here from Premier Equipment of Huron to provide a tilt deck trailer. This is a 24-foot tilt deck trailer, excuse me. And for snow removal and stuff, they were looking to have a tilt deck trailer to move the skid loader around. So it was in the budget for $16,000, and we received a quote for $11,500, and we recommend approval.
I need a motion to approve.
Move to approve 5.1.
Mr. Weinrich.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Robish. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 5.2, Brett, please.
Okay. Consider awarding 2022-12 new motor grader for street department to Butler Machinery from a contract provided by Sourcewell. So again, this is a purchase that we're recommending through the use of Sourcewell. The quote that Butler has on that is $307,063.23 for a new motor grader. We budgeted $356,000 for the purchase, so it's under the budget. Again, these are 2022 items. We're running them through now, but they actually won't, we won't receive them until after the first of the year, so. Recommend approval of this.
Move to approve 5.2.
Commissioner Bragg, move to approve. Second, please.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Weinrich. Any discussion on this item? Yes, Commissioner Robish.
Just wondering, Brett, are we trading, are we surplusing, or what are we doing with, or are we just adding?
I believe we were moving one of the existing graders to the airport,
I believe so. I believe so, yes.
is what the plan is.
Yep.
And then they have a machine, I think, that'll go into surplus.
Surplus.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Brett on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 5.3, Brett, please.
Consider payment request number 1 final to Lot Pros LLC for bid number 2021-13, asphalt concrete crack sealing in the amount of $35,000. This is the crack sealing that we did around the city this fall. We like to do that either early in the spring or in the fall, because when it cools down, that asphalt will shrink back up and expands those cracks. So that's the best time to go in there and route them out and put the material in. You don't want to do it in the summer when they were all swollen together, right? Because then when they do shrink up, they'll pull apart. So this is work that was done here this fall, and we basically start with a budget of $35,000, and we get a per linear foot price, and they just go until it's gone. So we recommend approval of this pay request and finalizing of this job.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Smith, motion to approve. Second, please.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Weinrich. Any discussion on this item with Brett?
I just have a question, Mayor. if I
Yes, Commissioner Smith.
may. So is it coincidence it's just an exact amount, or are they just 35,000, or do they just say, we'll
Yep.
put it all together for that?
So when we have a budget that we set back with the commission, and that was set at $35,000. Then we go out for bids with an approximate quantity, but we get a per unit price, like a linear price for the material to put in. And their lineal price was $1.15. But then they had some mobilization and then a little bit of traffic control. So we take that mobilization with traffic control out, and then we run until we burn up all of that $1.15.
I see.
You know, so we do as many feet as we can with that budget.
Got it.
That's how it comes out exact.
Got it. Yeah, thank you for that explanation. It just
Yep.
seemed odd to
Yep.
be an even amount for
Right.
that kind of work.
If we would have budgeted 45,000, it would have came out to 45,000.
Sure.
We just would have did that many more feet, so that's why it came out exact though. So, but 35,000 is what the budget was, and that's where we ended.
Okay. Thank you, Brett.
Any other discussion for Brett on this item? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Thank you. Departmental items, 8.1. Commissioner Bragg, you're going to discuss this, I understand.
Sure, and I think Rob will be here for any details that we need on this as well, but if you recall, approximately a year ago, we went through the process with, more than a year ago, with Banner, on a rate study for our sewer, and that was all a part of the new treatment plant. And one of the things that came out of that is in particular, one of our largest industrial users, Dakota Provisions. We did increase some new surcharges and do some things to better measure the quantity and quality of the water that they were discharging into the system. And the surcharges were significantly more than they were expecting to pay, and probably more than we were thinking they would end up paying. Not the rate, but the amount of times that it came up. And so what we have discussed, the mayor and I were in a meeting with them. They're concerned about the escalating costs. They are committed to making some changes at their facility to bring their the quality of their water, so all the measurements, and these guys can do a much better job of that. But the amount of solids and ammonia and all the stuff in the water, they're going to try to make some changes at the plant side to try and improve the quality they're outputting, which will have two benefits. It will reduce their surcharges, and also it will be better for the city, because that's what we want, is for them to be providing water that we don't have to do as much treatment to. However, as the process has gone on, it's been more complicated maybe than what, initially there was hope it would be something more simple, but they have brought a couple of folks in that have thought it could be a pretty expensive procedure. So essentially, when the mayor and I met with them, what we committed, at least discussed with them, was if they would be willing to bring in an outside consultant and then work with our team. And so Rob and Brett have been working with them for the last month, I'd say, out at the plant, trying to help them understand. And our engineer has provided them a list of possible consultants that we would bring in and that they would agree to and we would agree to, so that we can help them to develop a plan moving forward. So essentially what we're voting on tonight is what they requested is that we do slow down those surcharges during the time frame when they're trying to work through this process. So what we propose is a reduction until May 1st in the surcharges, basically back to what the levels were prior to this increase, with the exception of that the way that we're measuring the levels now. It used to be the surcharges were only applied on the day of the testing. Now we're going to be doing it via an average. So essentially, to make a long story short, until May 1st, we would reduce their surcharges back to what they were prior to the new rate study, but they will still be paying more surcharges than what they were paying, because we'll be more accurately collecting the samples, but the rate of the surcharges will be what it was prior. And again, that would only be in place until May 1st, with the understanding that they continue to give us access, continue to work with us on getting a consultant in there, and that they're actually moving forward with getting this mitigated. So it's a short-term break for them, just to give them some time to kind of study where they're at and figure it out. Has anything we need to add to that, or is that a decent summary?
No, I think you summarized what we're looking at there. So yeah, the main difference that is that it's a weekly average. We're going to stay with the weekly average versus just before, and it was an odd way of doing it. Before, we were only charging on the day of test, so it'd be based on the weekly average still, but the reduced surcharge amount.
Any other questions for Rich or Brett or our head man back there?
I do have some.
Yes, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor. And I guess maybe this is more for Rob too, but is this just the east plant, or is this all three plants?
This is just for the
Just-
main plant.
Okay. Did they actually get up to par on their new west plant with that new DAF system?
Yep, the west plant doing fine.
It is, and Gobblers, they're doing okay. I think that's about all I have, I guess.
Question.
Yes, Mr.
Mayor.
Smith.
This would just be going forward, prior to December 1st, that bill it is what it is. We're not retroing previous to that.
So I think exactly. It'll be through December 1st, even though that is technically retroactive, because we're, past that point, but we're not gonna go back any previous to that, simply because at this point, we have not billed them, they have not paid yet for that amount, so we can still reduce the amount to December 1st, but we're not gonna try and go back and refund any payments that they've made
Okay.
already.
I guess that's my question.
Yeah. And, you know, the expectation with this is that if they don't continue to work with us and get something figured out, May 1st, those surcharges will be back in place. This is just, they are committed right now to making some changes to get into line. You know, reasonably, they're not going to have it figured out by May 1st, so we're not saying these are only reductions until May 1st, but we're using May 1st because they need to show during this time that they're actively moving forward with it. Now, when May 1st comes, I would say almost certainly we'll be back here having this conversation again, because it's highly unlikely that they'll actually be able to make the changes by then. But, you know, I guess personally, I feel like as long as they're moving towards making the changes, that's what we're looking for. We just didn't want to say, okay, we're gonna suspend the surcharges for 2 years, because then there's a, you know, chance that something gets backburnered a little bit. So by using May 1st, that makes sure that everybody's keeping it front and center. But I would say realistically, we'll be talking about this again before it's over, because it's, I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. Maybe there's some amazing thing, but I would say we're just by May 1st gonna have somebody hired and doing a study, and these guys will finally have helped them get some accurate measurements. That's one of the biggest problems right now, is designing a system. They don't even really know, unlike the west plant where they have a pretty good understanding of it. The east plant, over the years, they've made some changes, and they're not exactly 100% sure what the current situation is. So that's part of where, by May 1st, we expect to know that part of it, and then we can make a more informed decision going forward.
Are we gonna have an MOU on this?
So, I mean, right now, we just have this memo outlining the change in the surplus. We can certainly, or the rate, we certainly can write something up if you would prefer.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
thought,
especially if we go into after May 1st, you know, because that likely will be maybe like, okay, we've now hired a contractor, this is their plan, that might take a year or 2 years. Certainly at that point, if we were gonna make any further, you know, rebates or reductions in this, we would definitely wanna have something spelled out. Right now, this piece of it, they're already pretty, I mean, we can type something up here, I think that's probably.
well, I think
better.
in the meeting I was at, and you and I were at, I thought Jeff was gonna do
We-
an MOU on it, and we never got anything
We haven't
back.
heard anything back from them, no. Now, what we've,
So I don't wanna get caught in that circle again.
right, and kind of what's changed, what happened since that meeting, I think we should still have something typed up. The good news is, the boots on the ground side of things, I mean, would it be fair to say that they've been pretty good about working with you guys on moving forward on this?
Yeah, the plant operators that they have there at the pre-treatment facility have been working with the city. We've been out there 3-4 times a week the last couple weeks, checking things out, trying to help them determine a location for a flow meter on their effluent side so that they can get accurate flow measurement on what they're actually discharging to the city. We have a flow meter on their influence side of the water that they bring in, but there's a certain amount of that water that goes into their ready-to-eat product. There's also a certain amount of that water that gets evaporated through their cooling units and stuff. So the flow measurement is key, and we're helping them work through that. The other thing is Rob's working on trying to find another sampler so that we could get some additional samples taken of that water coming in prior to treatment, so we know what we're dealing with and can more accurately develop a plan of treatment. The other thing moving forward is working with them to look at their operations at their facility a little bit, and is there some things they can do that you know, rather than pushing blood down the drain, if that happens. I'm not saying that happened, but you know, if there's something like that instead that can be modified or adjusted, maybe those are things that second set of eyes can help with. So they have been working with us on it at this point. So.
Which was not necessarily the case prior.
Yeah, right.
So I don't think it's a bad idea to have something in writing, but the good news is, at least during this process, they've really been much more agreeable and open with us on getting it figured out.
Just one quick question.
Yeah, sure.
You know, since you guys were both at the meeting and, you know, where they requested, the rate reduction, we don't have anything in our packet that says that they requested it, so I, like you had said, an understanding or something in writing that they're requesting us to lower it, and that's where this came about.
I think that's reasonable.
Anything else on this topic? We have any questions. Rob, do you have any more you want to add? Or no? Brett, you
Just a
good?
quick note, do we want some kind of agreement put together before you vote on it?
I don't think that would hurt, do you? Because it's not like we're gonna bill them tomorrow, right? If we were able to, or does it need to be out by the end of the year? This December bill?
The December bill won't go out till mid-January. By
So
the
it
time we
wouldn't
get all the
hurt
results and
for us to
stuff.
get it prior to
Yeah.
voting.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want something, do you want Tucker to draft something? Do you, I mean,
Well,
what
if
level
they're
of-
requesting that, it should come from them, don't we think? Dakota Provisions, if they're requesting us to lower the surcharge, shouldn't they be the ones to put in writing?
I think we could, I think, yeah, either way, actually, you know, I think Rich and Tucker could drive and help an MOU on that too, you know. I don't know, what do you think, Colin? Should it come from them, with their understanding of what we're doing, or?
Yeah, well, we definitely, I think, need something in writing formally. And maybe that's a formal request and then Tucker puts some type of MOU together?
Did I have it correct, were they going to prepare an MOU?
That's what they discussed in the meeting, and I don't know necessarily, because we've had some more follow-up discussions since the meeting, so at the time of the meeting, really mostly what Jeff said was he was gonna prepare an MOU, more so summarizing what we discussed at the meeting than anything, and we actually came, the idea of working together with a consultant and having our team go out and help look, kind of developed after the fact as we started working more closely with their team. So, you know, and I think it probably, I agree with you, I think we definitely need something in writing to change. I would say this one's probably not as important as what we would do in May. You know, if we're gonna move forward in May and continue to reduce their surcharge based on them being in a long-term, you know, say it's, if it takes a construction project, let's say, you know, where they're gonna have to hire somebody to come in, I think that one we need to have very clearly spelled out to make sure that if we're reducing that rate, that there's still work going on. This one here, I mean, we're really just saying we need to keep doing what we're doing, so it's probably, this one, I think Tucker could write something up just to get through to the May part. When we move on, I think we need to make sure that if we do something after that, we could maybe have something with a little more body.
I feel more comfortable having an understanding in writing.
Maybe an email from them just asking for a reduction that we could go off of, that it actually came from them.
Sure.
Would that work?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, we have some of those emails already, but I can make sure that we have something specific.
So you'll work with Tucker on getting
Sure.
something squared away?
No problem.
Appreciate that. Any other questions on this item?
So then, to Pauline's points, are you saying you want to wait to vote on that, like, next Monday?
You could do it Monday, have the two join together, and
Do it all at once.
that way you have
Yeah,
your
do it all on
documentation of the
Monday.
pricing along with the MOU
Okay, so we'll defer this topic
for
until
the
Monday.
record.
Okay, we can do that. Everybody good? We want to take a vote on
Or
deferring it?
even if
to-
we have it by Thursday or Wednesday night. I know it's only a couple days, but for sure.
So you want to take a vote on deferring it to Monday?
Yeah,
I'd move that we table this until Monday, on or before Monday, January 3rd.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion was to defer this to January 3rd at least, and a second by Commissioner Weinrich. Mr. Smith made the original Roll call vote on that.
Smith,
Aye.
Weinreich,
Aye.
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish,
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, Tucker Valesky, our city attorney, is going to discuss 8.2 and 8.3 for us, if you would please.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. 8.2, consider memorandum of understanding with AFSCME Local 169 for modification of Article 7, Part 1, Section 2 regarding holidays and authorize the mayor to sign. This is just adding Juneteenth holiday to the contract that we have with AFSCME.
Okay. Need a motion to approve this item?
Motion to approve 8.2.
Commissioner Weimer's motion approved. Need a second on this item?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Smith. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Weinreich,
Aye.
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish,
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 8.2, Tucker.
8.3.
8.3, I'm sorry. Yeah, we already did 2.
Thank you, Mayor. 8.3, consider memorandum of understanding with Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 3A for modification to Article 25 regarding holidays and authorize the mayor to sign. Like 8.2, again, this is just adding a Juneteenth holiday to the contract with the Fraternal Order Police.
Okay, need a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Commissioner Bragg, motion approved. Need a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Robish. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Weinreich,
Aye.
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish,
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 8.4, consider certified pay schedule for 2022, and Pauline's going to discuss this for us.
Thank you, Mayor. This normally is actually on our December 30th meeting, but we got through it earlier. This is the 4% cost of living increase in the step. So I ask for approval, please.
Need a motion to approve this item?
Move to approve the certified pay scale for 2022.
Commissioner Smith, motion approved. Need a second on this item.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any discussions on this item? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Weinreich,
Aye.
Bragg,
Aye.
Robish,
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay, 8.5. We will announce that the City Commission will meet in a special session at noon on December 30th. This is just a wrap-up session to make sure all of our bills for the year are paid, and we leave nothing hanging out there. So that's what we'll have on noon on December 30th, special meeting. 8.6, announcement of city offices will be closed on December 31st, New Year's Eve holiday. At 8.7, we have an announcement from Commissioner Bragg.
All right, we should be almost through these, but one more time. Solid Waste Department will be closed on Friday, December 31st, and Saturday, January 1st, for the New Year's weekend. Friday's garbage and recycling will be picked up on Wednesday, December 29th, so that means if you have Friday pickup, please place your containers out tomorrow night, Tuesday evening, as the trucks will not be rerouted. If you have any questions, please call Solid Waste Department at 605-353-8542. Thanks, and have a great New Year's.
That's it. I hope, in a couple of years when I no longer am the mayor, that they make a recording of that, so every now and then I feel like lonely, I can listen to him saying that.
I'll just call me up, I'll do it.
Enough for tonight.